Hey friends, welcome back to the channel. I am extremely excited about today's video because the Rome gates have been open. That's right, for the past month, maybe month and a half or so, Rome Research has closed their gates to new users, just so they can work on some server issues, load times, add some new features, and what they've done is really incredible, and the paywall is there now, so they're accepting new users. You can pay $15 a month, but you can get a scholarship if you are a student or a full-time researcher, or you are under 22 years old. So if one of those three applies, you can apply for a scholarship, which I believe is $7.50, maybe $8 a month, or you can buy the True Believer plan, which is $500 for, I believe, 5 years, and you get your name on a special list. You get access to earlier features than everybody else. So that's kind of a cool thing. Very interesting pricing model. Have never seen that before in a SaaS, but here we are, and they've raised a ton of money from it. People are posting their Twitter pictures saying, I'm a true believer, which means they paid the $500. So people are buying it. This product, this tool gives people value, it gives you resources. And today we're gonna do a quick startup guide because hopefully there's a lot of new people trying to figure out how to use this awesome app. So let's dive in. The structure of Rome revolves around this daily notes page. This is the best place to create new pages, add to-do lists, or any other notes you want to be reminded of. One convenient way to use the daily notes page is by utilizing the date picker to create a weekly calendar. You can create a new page by selecting new page, or you can write on the current daily notes page. So I'm going to type two square brackets and type in weekly calendar. And to open up this page, I'm going to hit Control-O. It's a keyboard shortcut to open up pages that you're selected inside of. And I can use the date picker. So tomorrow is June the 12th, and then I can do / date picker again, select June 13th, / date picker, date picker June 14th, and I would go throughout my entire week in just creating this list from Sunday to Monday. And any note I add in here, so say tomorrow I need to film video about Quiet, one of the books that I read a couple months ago. So now that is June 12th, and I can go back to my daily notes page and click this calendar up here, and I can go to tomorrow, and I see, oh, I need to film video about Quiet. So that is a very kind of easy, quick way to plan your week. So you just make a new page, weekly calendar, and utilize those daily notes page. So any date you want to be reminded of on something, you just go ahead and jot that down. So say today's the 11th, say on the 13th or 14th, I want to be reminded to call my mom. So I can just write on my daily notes page, remind me, I'm just going to say call my mom. I'm going to turn that into a to-do by hitting Command and Enter at the same time. Click away, and then I'm going to do that, separate a little bit, / date picker, and say I want to be reminded of this on the 14th, next Tuesday. So I'm going to go calendar, navigate to June 16th, and I'm like, oh yeah, I need to call my mom. So it's a great just quick capture, and it's a great way to really keep your Rome organized, is by making pages each inside of a date. That way it's attributed to something and they're not just floating out there randomly. Keeping all your notes attached to your daily notes section allows just helps you keep you and your database nice and organized. So that was a little bit about the daily notes section. Now let's move on to how pages work and what you can do with them. Rome is built around a bi-directional linking system, which I think is absolutely brilliant and represents more how your brain stores knowledge and information compared to an Evernote or Notion or even Apple Notes. So say we're taking some book notes on This Is Marketing by Seth Godin. I'm going to create a new page for that book, and I can do that in one of two ways. I can type in This Is Marketing, and I can highlight that piece of text and press the left square bracket twice, and it's going to auto-populate and say, oh, you're trying to create a new page. So I can click this, and now this is going to create a new page for my book, This Is Marketing. And what I'm going to do to add book notes, I'm going to shift-click the templates, and I'll show you a little bit about this later. I'm going to copy and paste this template for my resonance calendar. So the author here is Seth Godin. So I'm going to reference Seth Godin in the author section. So if I begin typing Seth in the square brackets, you can see there's already a page for Seth Godin. So I'm going to hit enter for that, and I'm going to navigate inside of that page link and hit Control O, and I can see here are 2 linked references to Seth Godin. So Seth Godin has this philosophy or idea on heroes versus mentors, and then I also have book notes from him for This Is Marketing. So that's kind of the way the bidirectional linking works. If I go into This Is Marketing, I see, oh yeah, This Is Marketing was created on June 11th. If I go to June 11th, I can see I created the page for This Is Marketing. So that is the way the bidirectional links work. And you can't really do that in a Notion or Evernote, which makes this page, Roam, just such a powerful tool. So to reference a different page, I showed you that with Seth Godin, but say I want to bring up my ideas page for whatever reason. So I'm going to hit the left square bracket twice, and I'm going to type in ideas, and it's going to search my Roam database and look for any word I have ideas. And a little trick I use to keep my master pages and not from getting mixed up or lost, I always put emojis by my master pages, so I know those are kind of the pages I kind of store everything in. So these are some of the ideas I have for blog posts coming up. So right here are all of these ideas that I've written on the page, and all of these are ideas that I was writing about, and I wanted to reference my ideas. So I'm like, oh yeah, I need to write a blog post or make a video about my top 3 influences kind of in life. So that is how the bidirectional linking and the pages work. And if you want to see more about that, I have a video. I'll link it up top on the card section. Another awesome thing about Roam Research is that it has a block structure. So each individual block can be used separately without messing up all the other ones. This is very useful for information you need to recall a lot. So for example, say I have personal information page in my database with my school ID, my address, my Instagram link, and Twitter links, so I can easily reference each of those blocks individually. So say I'm writing an email, so I'll have on my to-do list, write email to Josh Powers, just a guy that I know. So I'm going to open up this page, and I'm going to start writing my email. So dear Josh, thanks for getting back to me about my business plan. Please send any information to, and instead of having to type out my address or type out my email address or something, I can just reference my personal information page. So here I'm going to create a new page called personal information, and you can see I already have it. So I'm gonna hit Control O, and I can see here's my student ID number, here's my work telephone, here's my work address, my YouTube, Twitter, and Instagram links, right? So I go back into my all pages. Go back into my daily notes, write my email to Josh. So to reference one of those blocks, that information, I do 2 circle brackets, or sorry, 2 like just regular kind of parentheses, and type in work address, and boom, there we go. So I can hit enter, and then you can see it kind of creates this random string of letters and numbers. That is the block reference. So each of these bullet points have their own individual block reference, which helps your database say, okay, I'm looking for block 9BM57XIXF. And if I click out of it, you can see that it is in fact a linked reference. And you can tell it's a linked reference because of the underlined gray letter. It's saying this is not actual text. This is a linked reference, or it's a linked block. And you can see when I click this, or when I hover over it, kind of my cursor changes. And so when I click into that, it's going to bring me into that block inside of the personal information page. So the bidirectional linking and the blocked reference are huge, huge wins for Roam Research that I haven't seen anyone else doing other than Obsidian, but they don't have the block references like Roam does. So that is pretty cool. So we looked at a couple ways that you can create a new page. You can either do the double brackets, the double square brackets and type in some words, you can either type create a new page, highlight that text, and do double brackets, and it's going to create a new page for you. Or you can hover over all pages and click the plus sign, and it's going to create a new page for you. I don't like doing that. I like creating all of my new pages on my daily note, like I said earlier, so it kind of just keeps your database organized and structured, and everything is just nice and clean. So we just talked about bidirectional linking, and we're going to talk about now the second component that pages have, which are tags. Tags and page links are similar, but they have different uses. I use tags for broad concepts like productivity, and I make pages for more narrow concepts like the Pareto principle. So on the Pareto principle page, I might add a tag of productivity so I can filter that page when I search productivity. So the tags are just typical hashtag productivity, or the pages are the Pareto principle. And keep in mind, pages are case sensitive. So if you have all lowercase page, that's going to be different from the same word or the same words all uppercase. So just so you guys know that. So if I go into the Pareto principle and I do hashtag productivity, I can see, so my Pareto principle, whenever I search my Roam database, whenever I filter my Roam database, it's going to search through all the tags on the pages and look for productivity and either filter in or filter out that page. You can click on a tag and it's actually going to create a page for that tag. So if I go into my productivity tag page, I can see all of these pages that are in the blue. Those are the main pages, and I have linked or tagged productivity somewhere on those pages. And I can filter through all of these linked references by using the filter. Say I want to filter through the deep life. So I'm going to hit the deep life, and boom, there's my notes on kind of the deep life and Cal Newport's idea. I'm going to hit shift and click that again. It's going to remove it. And to filter out, I can hit shift and click deep life, and shift click everything that's a tag with permanent notes, and it's going to delete everything with those two tags or those two tags that you remove. So tags are really helpful for filtering pages, just like in Notion or Excel or stuff like that, to look at different views. So one of the very helpful and useful things I use to kind of filter tags is I make a to-do list for the week, and I'm just going to make a new page called the to-do list, and I'm going to add some tasks here. So call mom, and again, to turn these into the checkbox, go ahead and hit Command Enter at the same time, and when you click away, you can see that it becomes a checkbox. Read TechCrunch article, Command Enter, enter again, and then film video on quiet, Command Enter. And so to filter through all of these, so say this is my to-do list for this weekend. So call mom, I'm going to make that like a very high priority, P1. Read TechCrunch article, I'm going to make that a P3. And film video on quiet, I'm going to make that a P1. So now up here, up in the filter this page, I can click filter, and I can filter out P3s and just have P1. So these are the things I absolutely need to get done today, are I absolutely need to call my mom, and I absolutely need to film the video on quiet. So that's filtering in tags, or you can also filter out tags. So say I just want to see my priority 3 tag, I'm going to shift click P1, and it's going to remove everything that is tagged with a P1 and just show me the priority 3 tasks that could be done today, but not necessarily absolutely need to be done today. So with only 4 tasks, 3 to 4 tasks, that doesn't seem very necessary. But say if you have a week's long to-do list or an entire project of to-dos and stuff you're waiting for, and other projects of like someday maybe, the tags really help out when you're like, okay, I only have mental energy to do one thing today. What is the one thing I need to do for this project? You can go ahead and add the tag for priority 1s, and that's going to help you out a lot. So like we talked about earlier, the fundamentals of Roam is the bidirectional linking. That is what Roam research is built off of. On each page you create, there will be a section that lists out all the linked references made to that page. So for my booklets master page, all I have is a reference to that block notes on pages which appear here. So you can see earlier when I made my This Is Marketing book notes page, I used a tag for book list. So it would appear now when I go to my book list master page, it would appear here saying, hey, this is a linked reference. You linked this page to that page. And everything that is going to show up kind of here in this preview is everything nested under that initial tag. So the tag is for book list, and so that's why author, reading status, date, reason, and tags and notes are all going to appear underneath, and so I can get a quick glance at everything. And that's the reason I have these indented, kind of embedded under the book list on the template, because if I don't, then they aren't going to show up, appear here on my kind of book list preview. Underneath all of the linked references, we have unlinked references, and you can see it's kind of hiding. But what Roam does is Roam searches your entire database looking for the words or a combination of the words in the title of every page, and it adds all of those pages, all of those references underneath the linked references pages. So I can just hover over this, click the drop down, and right now I have 0 unlinked references because every page that book list is on has been linked automatically. But if I go to something maybe like show your work, I can do unlinked references, and you see literature notes right here. The words show your work appear. And so Roam is saying, hey, here's a link. We don't know if you want these to link on this page, but these words are around your database and they are not actually linked to this page. And the literature notes show your work are unlinked because that is a different link than this show your work page. And then again, show your work is here, and don't show your lunch or your latte, show your work. So it's going to search wherever the words of the title are, and those are going to appear underneath the linked references pages. And say I want to add this literature notes page to my show your work page. All I'm going to do is hit link, and it's going to move from my unlinked references to my linked references. So a lot of people have been telling me, like, oh, you can link notes on Evernote, and you can link notes on Notion, which you can. Totally understand, it's possible, but what Roam does is Roam does it first bidirectionally, which not all of them do, but it also does it automatically. So you can link pages manually by doing the double brackets and selecting the page, but it's just going to search your entire database and link stuff that is related to the title of their page. And that is what I think makes Roam so powerful, because no other app does that. And that's how your brain works. Of when you stumble across an information, it's like, oh yeah, that piece of information is connected to this piece of information, even though I've never actually made that connection before, which is Roam's power, is just working and linking together items and topics like your brain actually links and works together. Roam has an awesome graph overview or mind map feature. This shows every single page as an individual node with connections to every page that is linked to it. The bigger the node, the more links that are made to that page. So this huge node right here is my to-do page. So every to-do I make, whenever you hit Command Enter, it's going to automatically link to your master kind of to-do page. So I have the most references to the to-do page because it's kind of the biggest node in this area. To highlight a node, all you can do is just simply click it once, and it will highlight that node and turn every other reference blue. To open the page of the nodes, all you have to do is just simply double click it, and voila, it opens up. One of the other awesome features of Roam is the sidebar, and this makes the UX incredible. We saw it earlier when I went into my templates page and grabbed the template for when I'm about to create a new page for book notes. But the sidebar essentially is a way to kind of split screen your Roam research database. So there's a way you could do it with like 2 tabs open, but this just makes it really easy and awesome to do inside of Roam. To open up a page in the sidebar, all you do is shift and then select it. So it's going to open up the Pareto principle right here in the sidebar. And to show kind of what is there, you have to click the little number. I'm not sure why it really does that, but that's just the way that it works. So you click the number, and it's going to show the mentions, and you can exit out of the mentions, or you can exit out of everything, and it's going to delete the sidebar. One of the things you can use the sidebar for is if you're taking notes on a YouTube video or maybe an essay or a blog post that you have kind of dropped in. So I'm going to show you that. Let's just grab a little TechCrunch article here. And let's grab just this little section. So I'm going to Command C and make a new page. TechCrunch. Control. So paste it there. So this is the link. So to take notes on this page, one of the things that you can do is just type in notes on TechCrunch. So we create a new page there. To open up a page in the sidebar that you're already selected in, instead of hitting Control O, you just hit Control Shift O, and it's going to open up the page of notes on TechCrunch. So here, if your article is like 10, 15 pages long, you can read your entire article here, but then take notes over here on the left side, which is very unique to Rome Research. And again, you can do this in 2 tabs, which you can do in Notion, stuff like that, but this just makes it really incredible, and it's just nice kind of to be in here. And like I said, I use it for mainly really for the templates. I have here, I kind of have all my templates. So if I'm going to take notes on a book, or if I'm going to write my weekly newsletter, these are all my settings for the weekly newsletter. Subscribe to that in the link in the description. Or if I'm going to take like some weekly reviews or permanent notes or taking notes on videos. I'm still trying to figure out a template for podcasts and blogs. Haven't just nailed that one down yet. Or articles. So that is what I use the templates for, and I could use a text expander like Alfred or Keyboard Maestro, I think is what it's called, or TextBlaze. But having it in Rome just makes it easy if I want to change something or adjust something just super quick. I can pull it up in Rome. Finally, the last thing we're going to look at is the custom CSS themes. Recently, Rome just created the ability to make your own CSS styles, and I have to admit, as a designer, I'm not crazy about the layout and style of Rome, so being able to make kind of your own CSS is extremely nice. And a lot of people have switched already, and I just made the switch a couple days ago because I kind of liked being like original, if that makes sense, but I found a dark mode run that I absolutely love. So to create a custom CSS, all you have to do is create a new page titled Rome CSS, and it has to be all lowercase. It is extremely important and imperative that this is all lowercase and it's Rome-CSS. It's the way the backend of Rome sets up, where it's looking for the CSS style. So hit Control O to open that, and as you can see here, I have a list of kind of CSS code. It doesn't look like CSS code because it says it's reading HTML, and I did that just for the purpose of this video. But if I switch it over to CSS and wait, it's going to have just this awesome, nice, dark look. The font kind of cleans up a little bit. It's not as big. It's a lot smaller. So I just like this look a lot. But let's switch back to the purpose of the video. So what you're going to do is you're going to create a code block, and then exit out of that, so you just have the one right there, and turn the code block right here. Instead of being closure, you're going to turn it to CSS, and then navigate to the bottom right and go to the help database. Just go ahead and select that, and then right here you're going to hit enter, and you're going to make a new page, or you're going to reference a page actually for Rome cult themes. So go ahead and hit enter, and then Control O that. So here are all of the different pages, and here's a video from the founder, Connor White Sullivan, kind of explaining how to add the themes, but I'm basically doing the same thing right now. So, but he's awesome. Go check out his videos, a ton of cool stuff on there. So here are just the different styles you can look at. So Better Rome Research, I believe is what I have, yeah. So you can, so here's the light mode, here's the dark mode. So what you do is you just take the code here, so you take all of this code. I'm going to select, oops. So you're just going to select all of the code, and there's a lot, obviously, because it's redesigning the entire platform. Copy that, go back to your Rome database, and paste it on the one right there where it is the code block. So once you turn it to CSS, it should switch over your Rome database. And the cool thing is too, you can customize this. So say I want to change the main background color, you just change that little RGB values there, or the body background color, you can from doing that, like the dark black, you can change different colors however you want, and then give it some time to load, obviously. And yeah, that is all I have for you today. That is a quick overview of Roam Research. I hope you enjoyed this video. Hope you learned a lot about Roam and what it could do, what some of its possibilities are. It is an incredible app. I'm very excited I found it when I did, and I have been loving using it. If you want more videos on Roam Research, go ahead and hit the playlist. I'm gonna link it right here. If you want more content on productivity, habits, and apps and systems, go ahead and hit my face that I'm gonna link right here to subscribe. And don't forget to subscribe to my weekly newsletter that is down there in the link below. If you have any questions, go ahead and leave a comment or hit me up on Twitter. I try to reply to every comment, every message I get on Twitter. And thanks so much for watching, and I hope to see you in the next video.